Here we go now. Well, so Tammy teased last week about the Carousel of Horses. So
my mistake, your gang.
So we decided to fulfill all wishes and anyone who was upset that they didn't see enough horses.
Oh my goodness, and we got sound on somewhere. That's me, I'm sure.
Oh, you had the YouTube open so you could monitor it.
Yeah. Okay,
hold on.
Let's cut that out. Okay, done. Now we're not echoing. I hope we're not echoing at least.
So we are going to fulfill your Carousel Horses wishes, and I'm calling this the Mega Tips and Tricks.
Yeah. This is going to be a huge episode of lots of crafting. We have some over-the-top wow cards here to share with you guys, and we're pretty excited about a lot of them. We're going to share some wow projects. We're going to share a lot of really cool stuff that I hope you guys are going to love. So before we get started, we'll start with some cool stuff. Yep. We're really doing Carousel Horses this time. We mean it. We mean it. I even put that in the title this time for realsies.
We are doing real.
We are doing Carousel Horses, and we're giving some away. So yeah, sometimes mistakes are good things, because we both said, well, you know what, we thought we teased everybody with them last time, so let's actually do it this time. So we're actually going to give them away. All you need to do to enter is to drop a comment here, where no matter where you're watching, we are live or a replay, depending on when you're watching, on YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, and on Linda's Crafty Stampin' and My Stamp with Tammy. You may be watching in any of those places,
or actually on our blogs, because our blogs should be up at this point with the replay on the blog.
And there's the hope that actually works.
We hope that work. I found out mine didn't work last time.
Technology is always fun. So, anywho, this is what we're giving away, and if you share this broadcast onto any social media platform and type the word shared into the comments of the original that you shared from, we'll enter you a second time into the drawing for this. And this is a pretty awesome giveaway, right? This is a pretty big bundle. It's the whole bundle. It contains dies and stamps. And we're going to show them to you in a minute, and we're going to show you all the cool things it can do. And that means we have a winner.
Winner, chicken dinner, Mary Ann Mattinson. Congratulations, you are the winner from episode 161. And it is the Timeless Arrangements Bundle. So if you just head over to either Stampin' Tammy or Crafty Stampin', there is a link there to fill out, and we will get those out in the mail to you.
Woo! All right, here it is. This is what we're doing today. This is the Carousel Horse Bundle. You'll find it in the 2023-2024 Stampin' Up! Catalog.
Seems so weird to hear.
I know. And it's a mouthful to say, but it is the big annual catalog that you're going to find this in. So here it is in all of its beauty. This is the stamp set here. And this is a two-step stamper, although I didn't use it as a two-step stamper on any of the cards that I have. Okay,
I did.
I was going to say,
I will
use it that way. I actually used it and colored it in all of my samples. We actually made everything to order. We made everything right for this video, so there's no swaps. Everything you're going to see here is stuff we made just for this class.
There's not tons and tons of cards, because both of us are like, ooh, and then spent hours on one card.
They all ended up being wow cards, so it is going to be a wow card episode, and we're going to be doing a lot of stamping, so you get ready to craft and be inspired. Now, the dies are pretty cool, because one, they cut out the stamps, but also there's some standalone pieces here that make the actual carousel, and there's a great banner die in there.
So as usual, these are the stamps that don't match up, or these are the dies that don't match up with stamps.
She's so good.
So we have this very detailed die, and what you'll notice, because I kept going, where the heck did that die go? This one cuts two. It cuts this, and it cuts this separately. They're not together, and you cut them apart. They're two separate pieces once you run them through. I kept going, where? I'm like, oh, you're going to do 4 pieces. Nope, you're going to do 3 dies. You'll get 4 pieces on my project. So these are pretty. These are what do not match up. These are the dies that match up with the stamp set. So the combination of all of the above, you can come up with some pretty cool things, and wait till you see what we came up with.
Yeah, we're pretty excited about it.
Oh, also, Tara, the 2-step. Here's the 2-step.
Oh,
so
excellent. Thank you for doing that. Thank you.
So here is.
I thought about it after. I'm like, geez, I didn't do any 2-steps. I colored them all.
Yeah, and so because I was like, what is that? All right, so you get the outline of the horse. There is 3 horses, 1 large and 2 small, and then there are.
That's a saddle.
I did the same thing. I'm going. I don't know what these are.
Didn't know.
I'm going to show you the bigger because these are also. If you ever notice, like down here it says images are 75%. So these are small. These are the actual size. So when you look at, I'm diving into Canada because mine's all mounted to blocks. This is the mane and the tail all as one, and there's 3 of them.
So it's this.
So all this yellow is
Gotcha.
one stamp. The green is another stamp. And then the flowers are a third
I
stamp.
thought this was part of the carousel when I saw it, and I was like, "Well, that's interesting.
Yep.
Why doesn't this go on both sides?"
Yeah.
It's not the carousel; it's a saddle.
Yeah, and you can see it lines up perfectly to put the little detail on the little.
That's adorable.
Isn't it cute?
I wish I had known that before I made all
Well,
my
I'm
cards.
sitting
I
looking
might
going,
have actually used it.
What are these? So
Well, you know what? Now you guys know what it is.
There's
so when
the
you
answer.
start making your cards, you can start using them.
It makes it really simple. Though I will give you a tip, and here's another tip. When you are lining them up, because where'd it go?
Don't worry, Laurel. You might have missed the start, but we haven't started stamping yet.
Yep. So I have found when I go to
And this one's for you. Nay.
Yeah. So I saw a comment in our private group about Tammy naying during this show, and I'm like, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, you know, we just ran with it. I screwed up the title of the last one we were doing the Countryside Inn, and I wrote Carousel Horses, and we just ran.
I guess
with
you
it.
named.
It got silly.
So after you stamp the horse, my suggestion is to lay out the stamp over it. And you can line it because there's a bit of flexibility here.
True. That's
so
a good
I line
tip.
it up right over, get it perfect, then put the block on top. That will make sure you get those lined up just perfectly. Otherwise, you're like, why? The mane works, but the tail doesn't. That's it. I told you, this is going to be full of tips.
It is. This is going to be definitely a tips episode.
Hold on, now I got to put Tammy's stamps back together.
All right. So while she's doing that, I think I'm gonna. You know what? I'm gonna share one thing, and then Linda's gonna do some stamping. So I'm just gonna put that aside. And the project I'm gonna share really quickly are some treat bags and cards that I made.
This is so cool.
So, and I have a tip for this too. These are in color treat bags, and they've got old Easter cookies. I couldn't find any. We always have Chips Ahoy or some junk food cookie, anything, and I wanted to share so you could see what to put in it. And of course, there was nothing in the house, but I did find these bunnies from Easter that nobody wanted to eat because they were too cute. And so I used those as my, I don't know.
Spencer's been down here.
I know, he smells them. So this was the bag before the cookie went in it. We sell these bags. They're called in color
They're
bags.
kind of hidden.
And they're the current in colors.
Yeah.
But they do not have this window. So I'm going to share a little tip, and I'm just going to take this one apart so I can do a visual share. I cut this window with the Stylish Shapes dies. The circle from the Stylish Shapes dies, and then I put a window sheet there so the cookie or whatever you put in it doesn't fall out. But how I cut it, and I did it before I assembled. Pulling that sucker right out of there. One thing I love about the colors, right? Everything, the ink, the bag, the cardstock, and even the dots.
Awesome.
Everything matches, right? So I wanted to cut the circle from the Stylish Shapes dies. But I didn't want to cut, if I put this die on here and ran it through, it's going to cut through the front and the back. And I was like, oh, I don't want that. So what I did was, I took this little baby cutting pad from the mini Stampin' Cut and Boss machine, stuck it inside. So that's
Brilliant.
one cutting pad, put the die on top, and then used this and ran it through.
Brilliant.
Like that, and that cut just the hole out of just the front, and so you didn't have to cut the whole thing. So that's tip number 2. We got tip number 2 today. And so after I cut the circle out, I was like, wow, we got to continue on and use that circle, right? So I added the circle, and then adding more in colors, I added some ribbon and the in color shimmer paper. This is wild wheat.
Didn't even dawn on me it was the shimmer paper.
So I took the circle that I cut out and used it on each one. So each one has its matching little card. So you have a little gift set that you can give away here, and each one has that shimmery little paper on it. And then the ribbon. So that got all. So that's this is our first little thingy here.
I have to say, there are some days I'm just truly amazed. The two of us take the exact same stuff,
right? Come up with
totally different things, like totally.
All right, so Linda, you are on.
All right, we're gonna make a card. All right, so let me see. I got all my supplies, and I'm not. Let's see. I have to pack up and come over, so we're hoping I brought everything that I need. We'll see. We may be winging it somewhere along the way, but we'll see. All right, so I am starting with, this is a Misty Moonlight.
Oh, another good tip there from Tina. You can put the circle die inside the bag face up. Ooh. That's a very good tip as well.
There you go.
Another way to get just the front cut out.
There you go. All right. Oops. I got some stickies. Hold on. What am I doing? I got to put my...
Okay, so we've got some Misty Mom.
Finished card here. Yep. All right, so... First thing we're going to do is I'm going to build up my card base. So, all right. So I have a Misty Moonlight card base. I have, and there is printable PDF instructions on both websites that you should be able to get to right now. All right. And then I have a panel of Misty Moonlight, and I have a panel of Bright and Beautiful. It'll come to me. And I have a vellum. Can I borrow your seal? I didn't bring seal. All right, so I'm going to start by attaching some of these together. So I'm going to put, so this one's going on here. And then I'm going to attach the vellum, but the seal shows through. I'm putting it in the middle. I know I'm putting something in the middle. So
it'll be covered.
It'll be hidden, even though, but see, you can see that line. So that's why you want to make sure it's hidden. So then I'm going to attach this to the card base with dimensionals. I want that shadow line for added.
Give it a little depth.
Yep.
Linda, all of the videos are automatically replayed, so I know she got to run out, whether she got a date with her great granddaughters. Have a wonderful time. Catch the rest of the replay later. You're not going to miss what happens next.
Ooh.
And for the rest of you,
stay tuned. All right. So here's my card base. We're going to set that aside for right now. We'll work on other things. I am going to take my pony, my large pony, and I'm going to stamp him in Night of Navy. So we'll start here. See how inky I get. So I don't mess up Tammy's space. All right. So there's my pony. And here we are. Now we're going to use...
little pony.
There's the mane and tail. And I have the saddle. And I have the flowers, the larger flower. And so, what did I do? All right, so I use a lemon lime twist. So all the colors I'm picking are the colors that are found in this DSP. So we're going to start with...
Sometimes that makes it easy when you're not sure what color to use, but you're going to coordinate with designer series paper, or sometimes...
Excuse my head. Oh, excuse my glasses, because eyes are blind. All right, tweak. I don't know how good that is, but we'll see. Yeah, close enough. Right,
actually, that was pretty darn good. Okay. Really, I thought that was very impressive.
So now I'm going to do, we got Berry Burst, and I'm going to do that for the saddle. Again, watch my head.
I still can't believe that's a saddle all this time. I was like, what is it?
And down. Ooh!
Oh, she's doing really good. Under pressure, too.
Under pressure, I know. Sometimes it's like, ah. That's why I wait and show you the one I finished and, agonized over. So now I'm going to take the flower and do Lost Lagoon. I'm like, that won't work for me. Okay. And I'm just going to put some flowers on his butt. Because why not?
Yeah.
You know?
It's florally.
Yeah. If it's, I mean, if you ever seen a merry-go-round or a carousel that the horses weren't embellished.
Yeah.
I'll put the glasses back on.
They're very blingy.
Yeah. All right. So now,
I thought each one should be shiny.
I need to die cut him. I did not make a second. Okay. So. Let's see if I can. Ooh, do we have a sticky? No, I do. Hold on. I bought some.
How about that? She's on it. She's on
All right,
it.
I'm gonna line this up over here where I can see. Sorry. It does put a little hole between the tail,
Which I love. Because when I do a lot of freehand cutting sometimes.
yeah.
And that's one thing I can't cut. Is when you have, you know, a little space in between something like an arm or, you know, you got a little space there
Yeah.
where it makes it hard. Just one more reason why we love the die cuts.
Yeah. So see a little hole under his tail. It's kind of cool. All right. So there is our horse, and
The horse is the horse, of course, of course. You guys want to finish that, don't you? Lots
right.
of course.
so I die cut out all my
Everything else.
everything else, and I use this press and seal to hold it all in
It's
place.
a smart idea. That is a smart idea.
Like, how do I make sure I have everything? Now I just gotta open it. All right. Yeah. First I gotta figure out how to get it out of here.
Opening it's just half the fun.
Maybe. There we go.
I was going to say, I'll just cut it.
There we go.
I use the press and seal for the floating frames cards, and that's usually what I end up doing, is cutting the...
It's a tool for the craft
Cutting the
room,
presents.
quite honestly. All right. How did I do this on here? Okay, I did it on here. All right, so I have berry burst that we're going to use for the carousel itself. And so here are the pieces of the carousel. And okay, so first thing, do you have snips? You know, I wanted to make a little top on the top of the carousel.
Ah,
So
Good
I'm gonna use
idea.
this, so that's scrap.
I like it.
I'm gonna steal your seal back though. Alright, so I'm just putting a little bit behind the back. And just here. So you can see there's the little,
That is a
The little
super cute
top.
idea.
okay. Next. Alright, so next I am going to add seal down the center. Oops.
Do we need some little dimensions?
And I'm gonna put him right in the middle over where I put the seal under the vellum so you can't see the vellum. And now I have another one of those poles that I cut out with the stripe just to add a little something. We're not gonna see much of it.
I'm just gonna go ahead and put dimensionals on the back of these guys. Well,
Thank you.
just because I'm assuming that's where you're going with that.
Yep.
I can peek. I can see what she's thinking already.
Yep. So once you throw on,
She's just being super mean, not letting you see it.
I know.
outside.
I want the surprise element. Actually, you can stick little ones on that one. All right, so
Yeah.
now you can see that's where that is. And let's see. So there's a lot of dimensional on this
I
bad
like
boy.
puffy cards.
I do too.
And
I'm
actually,
like, if
my
I'm
card
going,
is my card. I think is going to win the puffiest
yes, it
card
is.
of the year
It
award.
is. My attitude is if I'm going through all this effort, it deserves to be paid a little bit more to go through the mail. You know, I like when the mail people are like, "What's in here?" Wouldn't you like to know?
That is the bright and beautiful paper, Sue. She's like,
Yep,
the
it's
dots
so
paper.
pretty.
It's the bright and beautiful paper.
All right, so this is going down.
Gonna be working with that a lot today.
Okay. This one is that piece. Remember I said you cut out one die and you get these two. It's these two pieces. Oh, thank you. And I'm just gonna stick some seal.
It's nice
on
having an
that.
extra set of hands.
It-
Don't you wish you
it
had an
really
extra set of
is. I
hands
wish you
just
would-
show up in your craft studio.
I say these designs would not have taken so long if I had someone over here going, "Here you go." And I like adding this to the bottom, and I see Tammy did the same thing. I
think
feel
it
like
just
it
added a little
balances
something.
the top and the bottom, in my opinion. All right, so now, oops,
These, I'm just peeling
this
this
one.
way.
So Oh yeah, let me take these two first. So this is, so I cut this twice. Once in the Berry Burst for this whole thing, and then I cut it again with the lemon lime twist. And I put, these are on mini dimensionals.
That's great. Ramona says that the carousel alone looks like the leg lamp from a Christmas Story. It's a major award.
There you go. There we go. So I like having them up a bit. It just adds a bit of dimension.
I like how you did that too.
Yeah, I thought it added a bit to it. Wait till you see the next one I did. This is the basic, in my opinion. Wait till you see that bump up.
The question is, when adhering vellum, is glue or seal better? I think they're both the same. You just want to be careful where you put the adhesive. I think
glue would be trickier, but...
just because sometimes it moves.
Yeah.
But what's more important is where you put the adhesive. You want to hide it underneath where you know something's either going to be over it or where a busy area is that it's going to be covering. Horse?
Oh, yeah. I'm like, where did she go? All right. So now my horse is going here. We're just going to, and I want to be able to see the little pole behind. And now we're not done.
But wait, there's more.
All right. So we have, these are new. These are the Tinsel Gem 4-pack. And it comes in Pretty Peacock, Blueberry Bushel, Berry Burst, and Lemon Lime Twist. So I'm going to take the small Berry Burst, and I'm going to put them, come hither, right, just as an extra added
I love it.
oomph. Because if you've ever been to a dull carousel, they don't exist.
No,
they're all blinged out. But then I felt the bottom was lacking, and those are kind of big. For the small, they're kind of big. So I switched up to the iridescent basic jewels.
I love these iridescent pearls.
And I gotta open a new pack here. I seem to use all the tiny ones in here. So I want to put them here, but I don't think the pearls are gonna work in conjunction. So Stampin' Blend to the rescue. So this is the dark Berry Burst.
Love it.
And I'm going to color 6 of them.
Sue says you can never have too many self-sticking gems.
No.
True story.
No. But I do most of this work coloring not on your project. You can do little touch-ups after you've moved it, but you could get it on your project, and you really just want to slather on here.
I forgot I don't even know what number tip we're on. I think I've lost count already, and we're not even halfway through the stuff we're going to share with you guys.
This is one of those things, as I kept doing, I'm like, oh, we can do this, and oh, we can do that. All right, so now I'm going to take these. Coloring
the pearls, though, that is such a great tip. That and ribbon, you can color.
The alcohol.
To make it match. Oops. That's excellent. I love it. Right, and I love that. You know what? I've never colored the iridescent pearls. We had our old pearls weren't iridescent, and they were pretty too, but these are prettier.
Yes.
And I like sparkle. The look of it with it gives it a little sheen, an extra sheen on there.
And I like it with the monotone. It's like it's bling without being like bling. Yeah. I think that's it. No, it's not. I'm not done. Hold on. One more.
But wait, there's more.
But I actually thought, honestly, of stopping here, and you can kind of see why. That's good. That's a great card. But you got to put the greeting on. So I chose the Enjoy the Ride, which is also in the stamp set. I can speak. And we're back to Berry Burst. This is Bubble Bath. This is brand new. And we're going to ink this up.
So some Berry Burst on some Bubble Bath.
And I'm always getting... Do you guys stamp and get your fingers in it?
All the time.
All right, again, sorry for the head. All right, I did that right in the middle. Problem is, this is from the Stylish Shapes. The skinny one is not long enough. So I had to use this big one. And I'm like, I need your trimmer.
Tip number.
So if I put this up here, you would lose the entire...
We should have written down all the stuff we were sharing.
Gorgeousness of the carousel. So I am
This is a great idea.
I may have to...
I can peek ahead. I can see where she's going with this, and it is a great idea. Excellent. So when you want
I want
that,
a little...
that banner, but it's too... There's one that's either too small, and then there's one that's too... It's like Goldilocks,
Just customize it.
Make it.
So
make it so it's just right.
I got it. It's got the little detail on the edge, the little like shark bite or whatever. There you go, ma'am. And now I'm going to I got mini dimensionals, and I'm going to put them on the very far ends, but I'm going to double stack them. So I'm going to take the paper off of these, and I'm going to do another one right on top, so that I can go over the carousel top without bumping into it.
Oh, I hear Spencer.
Oh, he's like, I'm
I
going to
the
go
little
find those cookies.
Tap of little paws.
So there is, and I think I did pretty good from my original.
Awesome.
And so that is the basic.
Love
You're all
it.
going, that's
Where's
not
the
basic,
applause
Linda.
button? Woo!
Yeah. Putting together the carousel. I did a couple little upsells, but you know, that's me if you've met me. So now you see
I'm
another
sorry, I've
wow.
got a little beagle nose over here. He wants the cookies we shared in the treat bags.
He does.
Okay, so I am going to share my project first, and then we're going to make it. I've got a lot going on this one, because it was just a I don't know, when I started going, I just couldn't stop. So this is, and there's a little bit of a book binding. I'm going to share how I did that, and I used the what the heck is the name of them? The wanted to say dies for the words.
Oh,
and then the carousel. So here's the front. All right, you ready for this? What? Yep. This is a pop-up carousel card. I could not stop. I love it so much. So I'm going to share how I did this. Oh, here he is. Hi, honey.
It's like there's cookies.
Are you gonna give your paw of approval for the pop-up card? Okay, so here we go. First thing we're gonna do is the front. I'll do the front of the card, and then we'll do the inside of the card. So I am gonna start with the card base. So I did do a book binding edge on it, and there is a PDF for what Linda just made and for this with instructions and measurements on our blogs. The reason why I did a book binding, this was my original prototype, but can you see it's thick inside. So yes, you need additional postage. I know you guys are trained to ask that. And it's one of those questions that always gets asked. You will need additional postage for this. Yep. It is a puffy card. And it's so puffy that this doesn't lay flat if you did. So after the prototype, I did the book binding. This was my original go around. And
I like the
polka dot embossing on the background. So we're going to do the book binding, and I'm going to do it on both of them. So this is an 8.5 by 11. So this is just a standard size card base, and I'm going to score it. Bear with me. 4 1/8 and 4 3/4. And again, don't need to write that down because it's on the PDF for you already. Just click on the link in the video's description, either stampwithtammy.com or craftystampin.com.
They both should be up right now.
You will get it there. Yes, you can.
Hurry, rush, you can stamp along.
So that gives you like a quarter, I think it's a 1/4 of an inch of a binding right there. So that will help, that will keep it from, the front from, like coming detached.
Yeah.
I'm drawing a blank on the word I'm looking for. The inner piece is 5 1/4 by 8. This is our inside layer of white. And that is going to be scored at 3 7/8 and 4 1/8.
So that's how you get the book.
So that gives us the book binding, and that gives us just that little something that protects our little pop-up on the inside.
Yeah, hand delivery for this card. Yep.
Yeah, obviously, that would be an easiest way, but some people want to mail. And if you're not mailing it in a package with a present or something like that, you would need, I would say, even a bubble envelope. I would probably use.
You don't want them to get damaged.
Okay, so that's our bindings. This is the front. This will go inside, but I'm not going to attach it until the end. So we'll save that till we get to the inside. So for the front of the card, I already did, since Linda showed us how to do this part already. So I have this already attached for you guys just to get that part done. I took a horse and I just stamped him, one of the smaller ones. And the coordinating, this is Azure Afternoon, which is one of the new colors. And on my original, I used the, I believe it was the same Bright and Beautiful designer series paper, but then I ran out of that one.
It's easy to run out.
Because I started
before
making
bags.
more, and then I ran out of it. This one's very close.
That is very similar.
I think it's boho blue, but that's what.
Oh, is that from Daisy?
Yeah, it's from the Daisy.
Yep.
So I'm going to attach the horse, and what I did was I popped this up with dimensionals, but I didn't put a dimensional in the middle of either of those, so I can just tuck the horse in. Ooh. And I did put a dimensional in that one, so yeah. He's not going to fit correctly. And the other thing I want to show as I'm sticking him in there. All right. Since I lied and I did stick a dimensional in there, I'm going to just detach it very careful. Of course, I do want to use that, but do I use it? No.
I know.
I like to go the hard way. Okay, so I put that on top of the dimensional, so it's popped up. But on this, do you see this little thing right here? That scalloped little edge, I tucked the carousel in there.
Smart.
So it gives it just
That's
a little,
so cute.
Little something something. All right, so the words came from the Wanted to Say dies, and I know it's really hard to see. I probably should
These
have
are
done
awesome.
A screenshot, but they say celebrate, happy birthday, you are
Feel
too
better
kind.
soon.
And there is both the outline, which I did in white, and then there's the thinner version, which I did in the Azure Afternoon, and then there's some stars and hearts and feel better. Lots of great little words in there if you want to do a little something special. And I just put that right across the top. And then so
you didn't even put in those
no,
two.
and this
and
one
that
I didn't.
looks so good.
And this
with
one,
the
in my
background.
original, I actually did, but I didn't pop
You
them
don't
up.
need
I like
to
it popped up better.
with the DSP in the background.
But on this one, I didn't. So then I'm just going to take a couple. These are pastel sequins, and I'm just going to pop a couple of those on there just for a little, because I feel like it needs some bling.
The bling.
It's never fully dressed without its bling. All right, so next up, I'm going to attach that to our card base, which is over here. And I figured, you know what? May as well. Everything else is puffy. This is going to be a puffy card.
Go for it.
I'm going for it. I'm not stopping there.
No
We're going to
saving
pop
on
that
puffy.
up. The front is going to look just as amazing as the inside, and it's puffed. Okay. And then we're going to work on the inside. So the first thing I'll share with you guys on the inside is how I did the accordion fold. And it's quite easy. Okay, so front of our card is all set. We're going to put that aside for now, and we're going to pull that back out when we're ready. So I've got Bright and Beautiful Designer Series paper, which is the same paper that Linda used, and I'd love to show you the pack, but as you can see, I've used most of it.
Used pack.
It is a very well-used pack, and these are great for so many things.
Yeah, they're so pretty.
This is 4x6, so it's 6x6. I just cut it down to 4x6. And I'm just going to take the paper cutter because I'm going to use it again right after. On the long side, so the 6-inch side, I'm going to score it every 1/2 inch. So just going to go through. We've got 1/2 inch, and then 1 inch, and then 1.5, and then 2. You get the idea. Every 1/2 inch, all the way up to 5.5. Oh, I'm glad you guys are liking it. The funny thing is when you look at it, it is an over-the-top wow. And it looks like, oh my gosh, that's going to take forever. But you're going to see it really doesn't. It's actually very easy to do. And I'm not even going to move that out of the way. And I know I should be using my bone folder for this part. But since we're live and I want to get to the rest of it, I'm just going to quickly do this. You definitely want to burnish these pretty good, which really you do need a bone folder for. Yeah. But I'm just going to do this really quickly. And then, you know what, I'll just... Bing. Okay, so now we've got our accordion. So this is, again, 4-inch side here. I'm going to pop it in here and then cut it at 2 inches. So now I have two
accordion once.
2 6x2 inch pieces, because ultimately I want a 2x12 inch piece. And since the paper was only 6x6, I want to go ahead and make 2 of them. That was a quick and easy way to do it. So you only have to score it once. And then I'm taking some Seal Plus, which is some of our super strong adhesive, and I'm going to go ahead and attach those 2 together. So now I've got a 6x12, and I did that twice, so we have 2 of them. And that's going to make our carousel for the inside. All right, before we go ahead and attach that, let's go ahead and do the rest of our pieces for that. And so I'm going to do, and then we'll do this really quickly. I'm going to go ahead and color my horses. I took Stampin' blends, and I do have the colors on the PDF. I do have the colors that I used for all of them. This is Wink of Stella, by the way, not a Stampin' blend.
But awesome.
Yes. I feel like this horses, like a carousel horse, needs to be blingy.
Yes.
So this is dark lemon lolly, and then some light on there just to give it a little bit of little pop there. And then for a saddle, I wish I had thought to do the stamp that Linda did that I didn't realize was a saddle until just now. I'm taking some dark Azure Afternoon so he matches.
But you can do it either way.
It does.
You want quick, you want to make it
there are a lot
bounce off the
lot of
page.
options with this set. And then I did 2 in green and 2 in berry burst, the mains. So I'm going to take, I'm starting with the darker of the two. And then just doing a lighter. And then when I was all done with that, just because I felt like he needed some bling, so that was just super quick Stampin' blend coloring here. All right, so, whoops. A little Wink of Stella, and you know what, I'm just going to zoom you in a hair here so you guys can see just a little, there you go. Can you see a little bit? All right, so I'm going to take the Wink of Stella, and I'm very lightly just going over the whole horse with the glitter pen. And that way, when you see the horse,
a bit of shimmer.
There we go. You can kind of see him when I hold it in the light. It's hard to see on the video, but it's there. It's there in person, and it's got a little touch of shimmer to it. And then I did 4 of them. There's 2 different horses, and so...
Yeah, the little ones, there's 2 different ones.
There's 2 different little ones, so I did 2 in the berry burst, 2 in the lemon lime.
And you got shimmer again.
Twist, and these two horses, a little tip for this one, I took that designer series paper, and I took the color that I wanted to use. I'm going to put this on the back of the horse, which means it's facing the opposite direction. Which means when I cut the horse out, it's going to have this polka dotted, whatever that is, striped background, which I don't want. I want the green side. So I took the horse die on the back of the designer series paper that I wanted to use. Yeah. So that way it will face the opposite direction so I can use it as a backing. All right, so these are all the pieces that I had cut, and just like Linda, I might just leave them on here and as I go, take them. Just like Linda, I cut this twice just so I could get the inside pieces. And I used some shimmer. Can you see the shimmer on that? This is, I think it's called Soft Shimmer. This is new in the new catalog.
These are so pretty.
I know, it's so pretty. And it's so easy to make something wow. So I use that.
And those new ones die cut beautifully. I mean, some of the old glimmer paper we used to have was thick, and it would like ruin your dies. These are beautiful.
Okay.
They cut like butter.
Like butter. I'm just going to put that out there so I can see.
I know, it's like you got to look at what you made, or
right,
I'm going to make something totally different.
I'm going to bring in here all the pieces that we just did. So we just did the accordion, we colored, we cut. I have on here 2 pieces of window sheet. This is really invisible on the video. There, can you see it at an angle? There we go. 1 inch by 2 3/4 maybe. You can cut it down, so it really doesn't matter how long it is. And I'm going to take these horses, so 2 horses for the middle, and then 2 for the side. Doesn't matter which ones you use. You can totally, whatever your heart's content. No one's going to examine it and go, oh, she only used that horse once, but she used the other one twice. No one's going to do that. I swear when they see it, they're going to be like, whoa. All right, so let's see. Let's take you and you. So they're slightly different. There's 2 different little horses. So I took some seal adhesive and attached the horse to the front of the window sheet. And the reason why I'm using this window sheet is because I feel like it reinforces this piece. If I use this piece alone without it, I feel like it's a little weak, and it would maybe not, I just don't feel like it would be as sturdy. And then I'm going to take the horse that I cut for the back of that, and I think it's this one. Remember, I cut it backwards so that it would face backwards. And I'm going to attach that to the back because you are going to see both sides.
Yeah.
So you want to have something to look at on the back of your first cut horse. I feel like one side you might see more than the other, so you want to put this guy facing that way. And then we'll do the same exact thing with this one. We'll go ahead and attach him to the window sheet. Now I attached it to the bottom, the very bottom edge, and that way if the window sheet's too long, I can trim it at the top. You want a little bit of an edge there at the top, but you don't need too much. And I'll go ahead and stick that on there. And boom. So you want to line them up because that way he's going to flip both ways. Okay. Now it's time for the fun.
This is the part I'm dying to see.
All right.
How'd you get this all to work?
Okay, so first things first. With this die right here, I did cut the tops twice, but you'll notice I didn't bother cutting this. It was too wide. I wanted it just to fit in between the book binding that I cut, so I just cut a strip here that's like an 1/8 of an inch, just to go down the middle, just to give that little hole. Because I tried to score it. In fact, I think I did on my original, and I did not like how it came out. So I'm just going to stick that kind of right in the middle. And then we'll go ahead and stick these pieces down. And while I'm doing that, I'm going to put Linda to work putting together the happy birthday from the, wanted to say that.
There is the largest fly in here.
I just saw him go
so,
by.
if you hear buzzing, it's not a airplane going by or a helicopter. Fly.
So I'm putting that down flat. It's not I, said the fly, as he flew through the sky.
That is
actually,
why
you know what?
I swallowed the fly. Because it flew in my mouth.
Cut that all the way off. And then I do want to give it a little bit of a, I'm going to put that down a little bit more. No, I'm not going to move that. Doesn't want to be moved. We're just going to leave it. Okay, so there's that. And then I am going to kind of, after I put that on there, burnish that fold, just so that it folds nicely. Okay, top is on. I'm going to stick these two little pieces in there just for a little something special. And then we're ready. Now, I have gone ahead and made all the mistakes on this card, so you don't have to. When I first attached these two pieces to the card, I used Seal Plus adhesive, and it popped right off. And I was like, that's not going to work. So I took some of the foam strips, like we use for shaker cards. And I actually had these are just slightly shorter. Just these were, if they came in a paper pumpkin a few months ago. Same exact thing. But if you didn't have a paper pumpkin, just regular foam strips will work. And I attached one on either end. So one on this end, because we don't want that popping up. Once it goes down, we want it to stay. When you give it to somebody, you clearly don't want that to come off. That just ruins your day. So one on either side. And then here it is. No, the white's not embossed, Gretchen, but if you came in late, you can catch the replay after. Those are dies. They're dies on that. Okay, so I want to make sure that we're zoomed in just so you guys can see this part good. Okay. So we got sticky foam strip on either side. This is the fold, and I'm going to go right up against the edge of the fold. Right here, fold. And I'm going to put that straight. So that's down on one side. Let me just hold it up so you can see the fan is going this way. And then we're going to fan it right across and do the same thing. Line it up with that fold line on the other side. And that's going to give you the pop-up carousel.
So Courtney was wondering if the tear and tape would work for that too.
It may. You'll have to experiment with that. I have a feeling that might go the same way the Seal Plus did, where it it might work at first and then it might pop up after. And that was, I don't know. I was just like, yeah, I'm gonna go with something that I know is gonna stay. So you can experiment with it. I totally took the same exact piece when I saw it was popping up and just put the strip on it. So if it doesn't work out, just put a strip on it after and you're good to go. So I'm going to do the same thing with the second one.
So Tina's saying it's a sampler because after all the hard work, she'd want to frame it. Yeah. I can see you doing this for like your kid.
I could totally frame this and make something out of it. I absolutely could do that. Instead of making it a card, make it a piece of decor. Yeah. You could do both. You could give the card and make it a piece of decor, like a matching piece of decor. Right. That would be a very special gift. Yeah. I feel like I might need to do that now. I feel like that was an excellent idea. Okay, so foam strip. I don't think the liquid glue, Pamela. I don't think that's strong enough. No. To me, that's like seal, the liquid glue. Yeah. And plus, you'd have to stand there and hold it for a while for it to dry. Because this moves. You know, the accordion will pop up right away. Yeah. Okay, so I'm going to do the same thing. I just kind of want to hold this up here just so I can get an idea. Okay, so we're good. That's good. And I'm going to do the exact same thing on the bottom. I'm going to put that. So again, just if you missed it, I'm going to do it again. I thought
Courtney was announcing she's having a baby, but these would make good baby announcements. Yeah. Oh, okay.
Okay. So now we've got our bottom and our top. And now, in my original, I didn't do a bottom. I didn't do the two. I'll show that to you. And it worked out just fine.
Oh, look at that.
I'll back out. Sorry. I just wanted you guys to see how that was
That
attached.
would be cute, too.
And it was super cute, but these guys were just kind of hanging there, and I was like, oh, I kind of want them to have a bottom. So that's why I added the bottom, but you don't have to. All right. So now these guys are going to pop in. So we got two that aren't on window sheets. These two are just going to get attached with Stampin' Dimensionals. So we'll put them on first, and then we'll put our window sheet guys in. All right, so they're going to go right. Oh boy, I put that pretty close, didn't I? One right there, and then one right
inside the folds. That's so cool.
Inside the folds. So they're in there. Oh. That is a lot. I wish I put that down a little bit lower, but that's all right for.
But like you said, now you can cut it.
Yeah, educational purposes. There we go. Okay, so that slides right in there, and I'm going to take some Seal Plus, and I don't know that it matters if you put the Seal Plus on the front or the back. I'm going to put it on the back, and that means that, and what I mean by that is when I attach it, and I'm going to stick it kind of, not quite in the middle because we're going to put two in here. So I'm attaching it to the front of the accordion fold there. So, you see that?
So it's right in there.
So it's attached right inside the fold, and he's going to pop up and down with the fold.
That's
and then I'll do the same thing in case you missed that. Okay, so some adhesive on the back of the window sheet, but also you could do the front of the window sheet. That's not it doesn't matter which one you do. And then pop that right in there. Just make sure it's attached really good. I am using Seal Plus for that part. And boom, we've got our carousel. What? How easy was that, right?
That's so cool.
Oh, Pamela's got a carousel museum in her town. Oh. How cool is that?
That's such a cool idea.
That's pretty awesome. Yep, okay, so one more tip, and I don't even know what number tips we're on right now. I wish we had written everything down that we were doing. Maybe we'll go back and do that after. Yeah. I wanted to cut the happy birthday apart because it didn't really fit as one piece. And the shadow, larger piece of the happy birthday, it was one piece. The happy and the birthday, it's the skinny one isn't, but the shadow part is. So I just took a pair of scissors and just kind of went around the curve there. And cut that out. So then we've got happy. I'm going to put that right there. And then just make sure that cut. Yeah, see, I got a little. Yep. I got a little thingy here. I just want to cut off. And the birthday can go right there. Oops. Happy needs to go down a little bit.
Dimensionals can not like to move sometimes. Like, no, you put me here.
No, I'm staying here. That's what you said you wanted. Okay, so one more trick. One more trick with this card, and then I'm going to hand it over to Linda. And that is when I went to attach it to the inside of the card. When I did it, oh, I'm glad you guys love it. Thank you. Thank you. When I went to do this, the card tends to pop open, which is totally fine because when you give it to somebody and they open it, they're going to leave it open.
Yeah.
So it's totally fine if it does that. But
tip number 134.
I know, on this episode, I wanted it to close. So I've got these little magnetic discs. They're from, I think they're basic gray. I have a link to these in both the PDF and on our blogs. I have one on my blog too. Either place you'll find it. The link is in the video's description to download the PDF. All right, and you want a plus and a minus. So these come in they come in larger discs and smaller discs. I used all the smaller ones, so right now we're using the larger ones because they're both fine. Okay, so they're adhesive already, so you just peel the back off. And you are going to want to do this step before you attach the inside. So I'm going to stick that right there. No one's even going to know it's there. It's going to be our little secret, right? And our secret and everybody else who watches this video. Be all of our secrets.
We need the
but I feel
TikTok audio. No
right?
one's going to know. No one's going to know.
So just peel the backing off of this is the opposite. And then when I hold
You just got to make sure you get
right.
them to meet up.
And there we go. Is that it?
It's the card itself is too bulky.
Right. I just want to make sure when they meet up, they're meeting up in the right place. But they are. Okay, we're good. Now we can attach it. And because I put that little magnet there, I'm actually going to use a little bit of the Seal Plus to attach
extra
it.
sticky.
Just because. Because.
Because of the wonderful things you've done.
All right. And because that one's not a green, we're going to go ahead and... Oh, come on. Don't be that way.
There you go.
A little bit on the top. Oh, whatever. Gonna put some right down the middle.
Ooh.
Normally, I saw somebody putting the adhesive on the under part and not the part that's going down. I would advise against doing this just because of that. You don't know exactly where it's going to go down, but for the sake of this video, I'm going to do it this way. So first thing I want to do is put the binding edge, line that up, and put that right together so they match. For those of you watching late, you're going to want to rewind so you can see the binding edge there. But that way, the two bindings right there, I want to make sure that they are, and that's not really lined up well. I want to make sure they're lined up perfectly so that it's going to open and close nicely. There we go. And then, bada bing, bada boom, and we've got our magnet holding it together. Our secret magnet.
So awesome.
Boom. That I told you, it was a lot easier than you thought that was going to be, right? That is that super special over-the-top wow card for Pamela and her Carousel Horse Museum.
There you go.
For all the grants, when you really want that special card. This card is just, anybody that opens that up is going to be like, wow.
Yeah.
That is just, it's a really cool card, and it's really not as hard as it seems like it would be.
No.
All right, so
we got one more
Carousel.
wow card.
And again, there are PDFs.
Yes.
There's PDF for this and the one that Linda made on our blogs, and the link is in the video's description, or you can go to craftystampin.com or stampwithtammy.com. And if you're tuning in late, I'm just going to do a quick little...
What are y'all doing?
This is Carousel Horses for real this time. This is, I know we joked about that last time because we had a mistake in our last video, so we decided to run with it and do them for real this time. So this is what we're doing. This is the website that you can find the instructions on. But the easiest way to get to the instructions to this project is to click the link in the video's description that you're watching.
Yep.
All right.
I got one
Take it
more
away,
wow.
Linda.
Because, I made my one card, and I thought, now I'll just make like 3 or 4 others so I have some ideas to show you. And I thought, this would be great for a spinner card. I haven't made a spinner card in forever. So here is my spinner card. And I forgot what a spinner card takes, but so you open it.
I love it.
And
I
the
love
horse
it.
spins.
Love it.
So instead of making this card, and there's no instructions, so I'm so sorry, you're going to have to pay attention. So this is where I'm going to
work for this one.
So there's a couple things that I'm going to show you.
We do give a lot away for free, but this one you're going to have to actually pay attention for.
Yep. So what I'm going to show you how I made the reverse, because I needed to make the horse facing both directions. And I'm going to show you how I plussed up. See how big the carousel is on this one and how the carousel is on this one? I'm going to show you how I upped my carousel. So, and I'm going to tell you, it's going to be fugly.
Stepping up
because
the carousel.
This one's also pretty, and I know you guys are absolutely all capable of creating gorgeous products. So I'm going to show you, kind of like what Tammy's done in the past, with a whole lot of ugly colors that don't go together. So you can see.
It does help though.
How this works.
It really does.
Okay. So let me pull out all my pieces. All right. First, what I want to get over with is the. So I made this and went. I was quite a bit through it when I was like, oh, I need to do the backside. I almost did what Tammy did with just put DSP. So let me show you how I wung the horse. So doing the backside. So first thing I did was I die cut out the horse out of a large piece. So here is my horse. Let me see if I can do it. I keep thinking, I'm like, did I do this right? Am I doing this right?
No.
I am doing this right. Okay.
I'm holding my breath.
I'm like, oh, no, that's not going to do it right. Yes, it is going to do it right. All right. First thing we're going to do. All right, so this is a silicone pad. We sell this. You can do it with a window sheet. You need anything that is not going to adhere the water-based ink. So now I'm going to ink this up really well. Really, really well.
Tip number 57.
Yeah. So I've got Night of Navy. Really, really inky. Okay. Now I'm going to take my die cut and I'm going to place it gingerly, sorry for my head, over the horse. All right, now here comes the tricky part. I'm going to attempt to stamp him on here. What am I going to do?
What do you need to cut out?
Wait do you see? Wait do you see?
Okay.
Do you have the seal?
I'm dying
The little
to
seal?
know.
Little seal.
Little seal.
I'm going to attach it because I'm afraid I'm just going to lose it. But I want that to stay where it is. All right, here we go. Okay.
I can't wait to see this. I'm dying of curiosity. I'm learning right along with you.
This took me a little figuring. Okay. So now I'm going to stamp said horse here. I am going to now detach this from here.
Oh!
If I can.
What a genius!
If I can get it to work.
I know where you're going with this. Excellent idea.
All right, you hold that side. Ready? I'm just going to come straight up. All right. Now I'm taking the die cut and I'm going to place the die cut in here.
Seriously.
I'll take this one first. Oh, crap.
You gotta do it quick.
I know. See, and this is how mine came out. There's a few bobbles, but when you go and color it, no one's going to know. And so I just added with my Night of Navy Stampin' Right pen.
Genius.
So that's how I did that. You may have to do it a couple times to get it to work, but that is how I did
the backside.
The backside of the horse. All right. Tip number 342. All right. So for the front. So this is the front of my card. So like I said, we're not making the card. So I used the Countryside Corners.
Back to our last episode.
Yes, from last week. These are real staples in your craft room. So here's the Countryside Corners. I used the second largest. What I did was I attached my designer series paper and I cut them both out at the same time. I then even reused them and put it on the inside and matched it up so it looks like it's one piece.
That's cool.
All right. So for this demonstration, we're just going to use this piece of lovely grape.
Gorgeous.
Gorgeous grape.
Gorgeous
Okay.
grape.
So, here I got a whole lot of pieces. Let's see if I can get them out of the seal. All right, so first things first, this is the largest of the countryside, and cut it out, and then I cut an inch of it. This is what's going to make the base of your scaled up. I got ink on her.
Out.
It's water-based, so thank goodness.
Worries. I'll clean it up after.
Yeah. So this is what's going to start with our base of our upcycled or up carousel. So I'm going to add, again, like I did with the first one, I want to add a little top. So I'm going to add that to the back of this. Oh, can I steal your seal again? There you go.
Here's a mat.
Oh, thank you.
A mat that doesn't have a horse on it.
It doesn't have a horse on it, yeah. So we're just going to put this on the middle. We're going to pretend I'm doing everything centered and properly. So that's how that goes on. Next, I am going to take, oops. So this is the carousel die. I don't need the little plank. All right, and these are going to go on here, and I'm going to put them on with dimensionals. There's a lot of dimensionals on this one because it looks better. When you get that shadow. Where did I put my poke? Oh, there we go. When you get that shadow line. There we go. All right. You're going to want to put more on than what I'm putting. I'm putting them on just to try and show you the construction. The engineering behind the carousel.
She wants to show you how she built this carousel and how much it pops off of her page.
It does. It's
really
all
is.
monotoned. It's all flirty flamingo. But it really... All right, hold on. I got to see this. Okay. So that goes on like that. So one level of dimensionals for that. Now I'm going to take the lemon lolly one. I've run it through again. And these are the innards. I'm going to turn these over. These are getting a double stack. So
It's like a double stuffed Oreo.
Come on. 1, 2, 2. And here's the double stack. 1. And whoops, it's sticking in my finger. Once you make one spinner card, you'll see how easy. They are very easy to create.
What she's doing right now isn't actually the spinner
This
part.
part, yeah.
It's more of how to build up the
carousel.
carousel and really turn it into like a work of art.
Yeah. And so what I also thought, this would be really fun if you made like a box with a flip top. You could make this as the top that flips open.
Oh.
You know? All right. So there is the top. So now, next we have are these. So I'm going to take this one. These are the fancy pieces, and this is going to go here, but you can see it's not, this is sticky, press and seal sticky. It's not wide enough. So I need to make it wider, but if I took just another one and put it behind, you can see where the dips and valleys, you can see it, so it can't be that easy. So let's see if we can see how I did this. So I took one, I cut just the ends off, so I cut the top and I cut a little of the bottom off. So it has like a tail, and I did that on both sides. You can see what's left. So we're gonna attach, and again, we want bumpy, so we're gonna add a dimensional here, a dimensional here.
I see where she's going
And
with
so
this.
it gives it really that 3D look. And now this is going to get attached here. So it covers the entire thing. And then that's the top. So what I'm going to do is, again, I'm going to turn this over. More dimensionals. Oh, actually, you know, before I do this, let me give you another tip, because before I attach it. Okay, to do the spinner card, I used...
This is the spinner part.
The very best trio punch. But, you know, you stick this in here, and I have a hard time. Did I get it in the middle? Where did I get it? Here comes another tip. Post-it note. So I'm going to take my Post-it note, and I'm going to put it here. Fold it over, and I would take a pen, and I would take my measurement, so I got it, and I would go, that's the middle, and then I measure it, and I go, that's the middle, and then I can stick this in here. I don't know if you can see the little X right there? Yep. Now I know where to punch, and it doesn't matter that it's gone through the
awesome
little thing, and I could actually probably do this again over here, but you can just use a second one. Do the same little X. Bum, bum, bum.
Super smart.
And
are you guys writing down all these tips?
Okay. There are holes for our spinner portion of the program. All right, so back to creating. So here we go. Dimensionals. I'm going to put a dimensional here. And I'm going to put a dimensional here. And I'm going to attach this bad boy. Hold that thought one sec, so I can see it. Okay. So now that I've attached it, the hole disappears because the little nub at the top is missing, and here. And so it gives you space back here for the spinner, but it also, again, it bumps it up. All right, so now this piece we need to add here. And I would kind of going to do the same thing. Sticky. And I'm going to add a dimensional back here, a dimensional back here. And I'm going to attach it just where the little lemon lolly pieces meet. So there is the top. And you can see how when it's not crazy multicolored, how cool it works.
Although Courtney says she really likes it with the colors.
It gives a very circus vibe, you know, versus a carousel. But it really, really cool. And so for the bottom piece, so I took one of these, and I think I did it upside down. So I did it differently. So but I also took, I screwed up. Okay. I was supposed to use orange up here. I put this on top of this just to make it look a little different from the top one. So
I like it. That's a really neat idea.
Yeah, you could do that at the top too. I just thought it would look, I wanted it to look more different from the top. That's all. So put that on, and again, I'm going to flip this over. We're going to do dimensional and dimensional. Now, I probably would have put and so this is just going to cover up the piece for the home. Now, I would have done this first. So I'm using white twine. Just scissors. We're almost done. All right. So we're going to feed this through, and we're just going to tie it. Again, like I said, this is how I craft at home. Where did I put it? It just happened.
I moved it. It's even worse when you have somebody else moving your stuff.
And we're just going to tie a knot.
So this is coming back to the spinner part.
Yeah.
The first part is just decorating and building up your carousel. But this is how easy the spinner part of the card is.
So you just need a way to attach.
I love the trio punch.
Yes.
Chip. That is fantastic.
So easy. Okay,
I would have made it so much more complicated than it needed to be.
Well, I've done it before where I would literally just take like heavy duty Scotch tape and tape it to the card, but having that little ribbon punch section. So there it is. So now I'm just going to tie
Fantastic, and it hides behind everything.
Yeah.
So you don't see it.
Okay, so let me try one more knot. And then all you do is, and I don't have two, so, all right. So you make that nice and tight, and it's not really tight, and it doesn't have to be super, super tight. So let's say this is my front of my horse. So I would put some Stampin' Seal there. And where's the messy one? Here he is. We'll put some seal on this one.
The horse
the
that
back.
she stamped backwards.
Okay. And then all you do is, like, it's loose, but the more I twist it, the more it'll tighten up. And when you open your card, it's will spin. This one I made too loose. But that is how you do it, and you just spin them. And so for
the spinner portion of that, super easy.
Yes,
super
and so
quick.
you literally just spin this, and that's all I did was beforehand was
Let's just show us the layers that you
around. And like I said, I just took a very large piece of just DSP, put it on the front of my card, cut it out with the second largest of the countryside end. So I had the opening. I used that piece.
Awesome.
I used that piece on the inside, but I also then cut out a smaller vellum, and if you can see it just to dull it a little bit so that the horse stood out on the front. But that is never mind. Those are our wows, and all our tips and tricks.
More.
Oh, there's more.
Oh,
That's
I've
more.
got more.
Oh, there's more.
I've got
okay.
more.
You
have another one?
I do have one more. I do have one more.
I've got more.
So here is
we're not done.
A simple one, and again, it's the two different styles, small horses with using the stamps of the saddle and the manes. So quick, easy.
So mine are just some more ideas. This one we shared last week on the. This was the one that
started the whole thing.
Started the whole Carousel Horse thing. This was done with the same die that Linda did on the front of her spinner, and that was the Countryside Corner dies. Okay, so that is one. Now, who says these horses have to be Carousel horses? There's no reason why they can't be regular horses. Now, these two are fun. I'm just going to move these out of the way. These two are both Fun Fold cards.
I made a mess.
This was a Z Fold Fun Fold card. And this one is an easel card, which ironically, they're both the exact same fold. One just goes landscape and one goes portrait. But they're both exactly the same, so they look like a regular card. And then I used this is the DZ Designer Series paper on the background. This gate here is from the Playing in the Rain dies.
There you go.
The cute little bunny
and
those dies. So that is Z Fold. And then this one, the silhouette of the horse. No reason why it can't just be a Western horse card. Enjoy the ride. Super cute, right? So there's another set. And... oh, wait,
She's got so many cute ones.
This is a gatefold. I used the what is that Patchwork Pieces die.
Yeah.
So the Patchwork Pieces die here to get that background. And this was the combo ribbon that matched the bubble bath. It's bubble bath there. And I used a little bit of vellum behind the horse so he pops out. And then we've got just a gatefold there, so you've got your inside.
I like how you only use the one piece. That looks so cool.
And wait, I don't know. You guys have to tell us which ones you like the best.
I
I know it's hard to pick just one. This is an acetate window sheet floating card, and I used the holographic.
That's so cool.
Paper on the background. So we've got a little holograph. Depending on what lighting you're using, it's going to be a different color. It's going to be berry burst, or it's going to be. I don't want to say that's gorgeous grape or blackberry.
It's so cool.
And then this opens up, so he's kind of floating. Let me see if I can put him down here, so you can see. We've got a little floating horse there. Just kind of. I love those little floating cards. They're kind of fun, right? Super easy one. And the last one, this is the very last one. I don't know why I just thought this fold works perfectly. This fun fold. This is a Shadowbox Theater card.
That's so cool.
And when you open it up, you've got your carousel on the inside. And then, whoop, folds flat, goes in a regular sized envelope. And then, boom, open it up. And you've got your little theater stage in there with your horses on it. Super cute. I promise I will have tutorials for the rest of these going up over the next week. But we have What do you guys think? You think you're inspired now? Did we do our job? I hope. Have you fallen in love with the horses yet? Because if you haven't, man,
what's wrong with you?
What can we do here? So we got.
What can't you do with them?
Right? What can't you do with these horses? What? Well, there are just some horse. Oh, and a horse is a horse. Of course. We've got our little gift set of horses. All right, so that is the Carousel Horse episode. Hope you guys have loved the 101 tips that we shared today on this episode. Lots of stamping today, lots of ideas. We will have tutorials are already up for the cards that we made here on this episode, and we'll be up for the rest of these cards coming over the next week. And you can enter to win the contest by dropping a comment. Definitely drop a comment. Let us know which one you like, because we are giving this bundle away. We're giving it away to one lucky winner. And all you got to do is leave a message. And if you share this onto social media, you'll be entered a second time.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for joining us today.